I don't know what motherhood turned you into, but it turned you into a softer version, the softest version of you. Because then, like, I would worry about how are they going to survive. To the extent, even my staff, like, I would not gauge how much I pay them depending on their value, but maybe they have a family. But how are their children going to go to school? You get it? Until I discovered that when it comes to earning, when it comes to wealth creation, and wealth is a huge subject, it's not just about money, but when we single out the activity of money alone as to where it goes more and where it does not go, there is a science behind it, and that is what I want us to be able to actually look at it. And number one, I want you to note down that income follows assets. Income follows assets. And we have been made to believe that assets are just houses and belongings. No. So many of us right now are earning. If you are employed, you are earning because you have an asset called time. So we are exchanging our time for the money, all right? That means the more assets you have, the more money. Because then you're not going to have a day that spans 72 hours. That means that we are all limited on time. And that is where, when it comes to the issue of money, we all start on the same surface. No one starts on above ground zero. No one starts that, for me, our family had money. Even those that inherit money, if they do not use the money well, the money vanishes. So that means that we all start on the same level, that, you know what, we have these two things, and we talked about them when we were talking about dominion. I want you to be able to, is it columns? Yeah, columns, 5 columns. Just draw 5 columns. 5 columns. And then, what are these called? Rows. Aha. So we need 4 rows and then 5 columns. Okay, because I want us to go back to the genesis of this so that we can understand that it is within our power. And he has given us the power to make wealth. So if we do not make wealth, we are actually, because we are here to impact lives, but there is no way we can continuously impacting lives without earning. So that means we must learn how to be able to immerse, to create the wealth so that we can even serve better. I wouldn't serve you better if I wasn't putting on well. I wouldn't serve you better if I wasn't sleeping well. I wouldn't serve you better. So I need what the wealth is, it as a lubricant to our performance. Because then I can go anywhere, anytime, and do the work that I am doing. But if you don't have the money, if you're still grumbling, if you don't have enough, then your service is limited. You cannot transform anyone's life, okay? And so I want you to write in the first corner. Let's first go up on the columns. Let's I want us to be able to name them, names that we can be able to remember together, okay? Names that we can be able to remember together. I want you to write, let me say power, possession, and presets, okay? Let me say power, possession, and presets, because then we can be able to remember those. I want to give you a language, not according to how I thought about them, but according to what we can actually remember. Okay. Now, on the 4 rows, the 4 rows, yes. I wanted to have a chalkboard, but I can't be able to write because I don't have markers. So that is why we are being here and being able to actually master this on the way. So, okay, I have a simpler word now. Let's start with platform. Okay, platform on your row. Guys, we don't know the difference between rows and... Okay, we have the columns, right? So the columns, the headings, let me call them the headings, right? Because the headings will be better understood. So on the headings, we have platform, number 1. And then on the second column, we have perimeters. On the third column, we have powers. On the fourth column, we have presets. And then on the last column, we have possession. Okay? At least we are on the platform, we have perimeters, we have powers, and then we have presets. And then we have possession. Okay? Now, when you come right down on the platform, we have number 1 is time. Time. Number 2, we have space. Right beneath time. Yes, we are going down. And then the last one is matter. Okay? On the first line, platform, right? On the platform, right beneath platform, we have time. Beneath time, we have space. And beneath space, we have matter. Okay, so now we are going to we will move column by column so that we can be able to actually understand. Yes, 5 and 4. All right, so now we are together. Okay, the reason as to why I've given you that start is because we all start, you remember in Ecclesiastes that says that food is not to the strong and the rest is not to the swift, but chance happens to all. That means that we all start with the same resource, that number 1, we are alive, and then number 2, we have time. Okay? We have time. When God was creating, he created time. He created the space, the vacuum with which we stay. Okay? And then he created the earth, which is the matter with the substance, the earth. Now, during the dominion, we were talking about being fruitful. Okay? Now, being fruitful is a produce of time. So now you're going to write it after time. Right underneath the perimeter. Be fruitful. Be fruitful. Now, right underneath be fruitful, multiply. The space, after the space, yeah, space, I should be able to, y-axis and x-axis, but we will still get lost, okay? And then right after the matter, or on the row of the matter, that is when you have dominion. Have dominion, okay? I really wanted to create a foundation for this because, lest we say, the people that have money started with money. No. No one starts with money. Okay? I know that in this generation there are people who inherit money, but have you seen people inheriting money and losing it in 1 month? Or even winning lottery and losing it in a matter of a week? So that means that wealth is derived from somewhere by knowing how the art of creating that wealth comes about. All right? And just like we say that if assets attract income, now you have the asset called time. And when you have the asset called time, that means you have the time to become. You have the time to become. That is the B, okay? You have the time to become. We all start from the clean slate. We are here because we want to become something. We are in transition. That we want to discover our purpose. We want to discover our passion. We want to discover, like, from the onset of education, we are being. But remember, the world dictates what we become. And now we have been capped. Back then, it was about being a lawyer, being a plumber, being like there were named things that people could become. Right now, we are breaking out of that shell, that you can become anything that none of your family ever envisioned. For example, when they were paying fees for me, I think my mother and father thought maybe I would be a teacher. Maybe they thought I would be, maybe in their brain, they were like, we are paying school fees so that she can be a teacher. Now, just imagine to meet a Bahati who says, I cannot be a teacher and I want to be a coach. And there is no coach in Kampala. I think sometimes, I don't know how my mother reasons, but most of the times he will tell me, if you think that is the best decision, I'm backing you. Because if it were any other person, he'd be like, you see, we are poor, okay? And all that you had to do was simply to get a job. Like, get a job. That it gives you 500,000, at least your family can eat. You get it? And it would have been the easiest escape for me. Get a job, be paid clean money. You know, at the end of the month, you expect money to come. But when you decide and you grow out of the perimeter of just becoming who you are told to be, and you become who you are supposed to be, that means you have broken through the limitations of what the world has cocooned you in. That it is not just about being a lawyer, it is not just about, but you can actually be a brand influencer, that you can actually be a DJ, that you can actually be a public speaker, that you can actually, yes, you can do the job that you studied, that you can be a teacher, but still you can be a coach, okay? So now you are in a constant state of being. But remember, there are people who do not have any being in themselves. Have you seen people who are static? You've never seen people who are static. How it was is how it is and how it will forever be. And you can see them, by the way, they are frustrated with life, but they were told never change to anything. So now they are not open. They have not opened their minds to being. Those are the people that you tell, invest in yourself. They are like, those coaches are just taking our money. Let me get my money. Let me do my things. You get it? But they don't know that for someone to invest in themselves, they are saying, God, I'm in motion. Now, becoming is a place of uncertainty because you don't know what you're going to turn into. Just imagine if a butterfly was told that, or a caterpillar was told you have to go into a cocoon for this number of days without anything in order to become a butterfly. Like, I want to become a butterfly, but a cocoon. A cocoon. Spongy being, what does it turn into? Lava. Then? You even make them sound so good. But the thing is, like, it goes a lot of stretches. It goes through, just imagine a caterpillar that has no bone in it, and now it becomes a butterfly that has bones that are holding the wings. That means there is a disfiguring that happens. A complete nothingness that when it goes into that cocoon and it builds that cocoon around it, like it totally disappears. Okay? So now we have, you have to be in a constant state of being. If you really want to make wealth, if you really want to amount to something, you have to be in a constant state of being. I have been in a constant state of being for more than 25 years. Every single day I'm up to something. You know how you look at your child and you're like, you know our children, sometimes they can look like, what are they up to right now? Now, I've been that kind of person in a continuous state of being. There is no resting. And then when you look at the multiplying, that means you have something that you're multiplying. Okay? That in the continuous state of being, we have some rests. That now, I first became a counselor. And now, I tried to multiply that. And I grew into coaching. I tried to multiply that. I grew into mentorship. And I am multiplying that. I do not get so saying, you know what, some people, by the way, the money that they earn is the money that they earn, to the extent I have given some people a chance, and I'm like, you know what, why don't you become a partner amongst our staff? Why don't you become a partner so that when I lose, you lose, when I win, you win, but when we win big monies. And I'm like, you get it? As in, multiplication is a risk. What we are doing here, we are multiplying ourselves. We're like, you know what? Let me give in these $300, $400, okay? But I am sowing a seed that is going into the ground and it will bear fruits. There is someone who wrote and said that any fool can count the seeds in a fruit, but only God can tell the fruits in the seeds. Any fool can count the seeds in an apple. All right? You can count and say these are 6 seeds, right? But only God can tell the number of fruits in those seeds. Because then if you plant them, you might have a full garden. The multiplication that is going to happen. So you can never be there and say, those 6 seeds can only bear 6 apples. No, God says there will be 1,000. And God says there will not just be 1,000, because they will bear fruits and get out of season, bear fruits again and get out of season and still keep bearing fruits. So multiplication is a risk. You took a risk on yourself to come here. You were like, you know what, I would have had other things to do, but I said, let me dedicate this year to personal growth. Let me go into a cocoon. Let me go into a cocoon. Because what I want is to be a butterfly. And I cannot become a butterfly by being a caterpillar that is everywhere. Sigenda kunigina and become a butterfly. No. I am going to go through the stages that I need. I will go through the stages of lack of clarity. I will go through the stages of being called mad. I will go through the stages of fasting and praying and dedicating myself, and people saying, you know, I will have stages. By the way, a stage is going to come where you're going to cocoon from the world. And people will not understand you. People will not, even abantu abalaba ennyo be basajja ababakwana nga muli mu cocoon. You know, when you're in that transition period and then someone comes and you're like, please, come back after 2 years. You have come at a wrong time. You have come at a wrong time. I know there are men who went through that when it came to me. So many of them. Like wrong timing. Come, coffee. I'll be like, what is coffee? Movie. What is a movie? I can watch a movie in my home. I can eat popcorn while I am watching a movie. I can write my book while I am watching a movie. And let me tell you, all those moments are moments that come before your greatness. Okay? So, and then you cannot have anything if you have not become anything and you have not multiplied anything. There is no possession. There is no having. Because we said we have to have dominion. Okay? Time and power, the converging box between time and power is identity. Now you understand me better when I say that? Is identity. Because the continuous becoming is an upgrade of your identity. That I was who I was, but I am no longer who I was last month. Do you know sometimes you're going to upgrade yourself that you will be different today than you were different yesterday? You're like, and you only understand what you have to, because you're the one that is in the journey. You're in your lane. But you're talking about business, talking about partnership, you're talking about, brainstorming session. You're talking about, and like, people are trying to catch up and they are not catching up because your identity is being transformed. And let me tell you, our identity is not just internally being transformed and upgraded, but even visually. People that see you are going to see you different. Do you see how you look at yourself, how you look right now? I want you to give yourself just 2 months from now. You're going to look totally different from who you are right now. You're going to dress totally different from who you are right now. The moment you discover, I am not just a normal human being, then you start reasoning differently. You start eating differently. Even the shoes you will buy will be different. Because you'll be thinking, when I'm called for an interview, I've seen people sitting with, crossing their legs with high heels, and then you're thinking of having a high heel in you. You're thinking about the hairstyle. You're thinking about, and you're not breaking the bank to do that, but you're like, you know what? I must upgrade myself. There are some of you that are going to look way younger. Coach Molly, ngenda kuwerako example. Coach Molly did not look like that. I know. When she joined the mentorship, and guess what? We were online. But let me tell you, I would look at everyone. I know your pictures and how you joined and like, and I will tell them that, by the way, things are going to change for you. And I guess some of them will be like, like, seriously, the videos that I asked people to send, people will send videos and I'm like, God, where are these people going? Let me tell you, lockdown, I would look at Zaituni's video and I'll be like, you know what, I am dead. I am dead. I look at another person's video and I'm like, where are we going? Have you seen them now? Yeah. Have you seen? And I'm like, what changed? Their identity was switched. Yeah. Like switched from who they were and what they knew about themselves. And now they know their worth, they know their value. They walk into a room with a head held high. And even when some of them were told you will never amount to anything, you're like, dare say it again. And I'm not, sija kuwakanya, but just look at me. Look at me. Just listen to what I have to say. You know, if I am on every platform, invited left, right, and center, being paid for speaking engagements, and now you're saying, you know, women were meant to be in the kitchen. No, I will disapprove you. We can be in the kitchen and we can be in the boardrooms. We can be in the kitchen and we can be on international platforms. And we will fit and we will look cute while we are cooking. My friends. Okay, so the having of dominion. So let's go to space, between space and power. That is activity. Because there is no multiplying without activity. There is no. Every day there has to be activity. You should be up to something. You should be that kid. As in, you should be that person that does not settle. Your legs are also, your mind is always thinking about something. You're always thinking about something, writing something, reading something. There is activity attached to you. Let me tell you, I'm telling you the difference between the people that get wealthy and people that never get wealthy. The people that never get wealthy, you will find that their lives are redundant. You will find that they have no thought process in the day. You will find that is how you wake up and you cannot even put on a bra. Because, what for? Like seriously, you will not bathe. You will wake up. That is why you will even walk with your legs facing this side, because there is no direction. The moment you have direction and they invite you into that conference, you go, and even if it's not you the speaker, but you're going to a conference that Coach Mole has created, there is another platform you're coming for, and the way you compose, the way you set your clothes, the way you're like, you know what, not just bandabe, yes, kulaba, but you're like, you know what, I should look better. There is a way we kunganya. Have you ever kunganya when you see visitors? I have a sister, up to now, we said that sister is so good at hiding dirty things when the visitors come. Like in a microsecond, you will not see anything, like the place will be sparkling clean. And I was like, yo, this is a gift. This is a gift. Because for me, I will be tongue-tied. I will be like, they have come unannounced, so let them face whatever they have to face. Like seriously, I am that kind of person because I freeze. Have you ever, I don't know whether you're that, me I freeze. I see a visitor, because we grew up in a home where our mother was a people person. So people would visit without any informing. So you will just sit, and we didn't have a gate. So you will just see them, and you're like, oh God, 1 second for them to be in the house. And then, so yeah, I have one who is, they are very good at hiding. Diana, the moment a visitor, what have they come for? Run quickly to the bedroom, close the door. And Jemima will be like a tornado. You know a tornado that sweeps around the room and it's like a vacuum cleaner. And everything has disappeared. And then I will be the one who goes out. I will be like, meanwhile, program, because I'm like, these things I will not manage. But the thing is, there has to be a level of activity in your life. Do you see that ever since you joined this platform or this community, that you are unsettled? Yes. Because you know what you're supposed to do, but you're not doing it. And then, like, you have stress. How many of us admit we have stress? You look at social media and you're like, I will not look at other people's posts because I've not posted. Hey. That's how. Because what life is demanding of you is the continuous activity, and it should not be stressful. But again, because you care about people, there's a level of stress that you must have. That whenever you show up, you should show up with value. So sometimes you will write a post, edit it 1,000 times, you will not even post it. You'll be like, maybe you will take a video and you're like, I can't post this video. I will post it another day. And some of us have videos that can last us for a whole year in our phones. Because you can use B-rolls. All you have to do is put a camera in front of you and take tea. Haven't you seen those videos? Don't you like them on social media? So what is that? Don't you have a cup? Don't. No. Tell me. Don't you have a cup? But this is what you will do. You'll be like, this chair is old. People are going to see it. And then now you want to cover the chair. And then you'll be like, but this dress also. And then you will be like that for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. How the hair is not good, let me wait until the day I will do makeup. And let me tell you, even the day you do professional makeup, you will look at yourself and you'll be like, oh, the eyes are too much. Oh, and then you're like, people will say I'm not natural. And you like everything is just passing you by. So there has to be a level of activity, daily activity, if you want to create wealth. Think about your customers. Think about where you can get more merchandise. Think about this is the life we have lived together with my husband for the past 25 years. Like every single day, we are up to something. He's up to something, I'm up to something. I should have said, you know what, I got married to a man who is very versatile and who, you know, who cares about his life and who has amassed wealth. I'm like, no, not in my league. He creates wealth, I create wealth. We both create wealth. So if he's active, he's up to something. I think while I'm on the bed, I think while I am cooking. I am thinking as I am up to something every single time. And guess what? He's up to something every single time. So if that level of activity, if you're the kind who, you're like, you know what, let me relax, there will be time for you to relax later. And let me tell you, even if you turn 70, the moment kokolera obulungi, you know kukolera, and you're set ablaze, you will get to 80 and you will have activity every single day. You will never even look an inch older. Why? Because your brain is active. Because you're thinking about what to do, where to go, they've invited me here. Like you matter. You're still involved. You're still needed. Your services are needed. And then let's go to matter and power. That is where we have now property. You want property, you become, you multiply, you have. You upgrade your identity and there is daily activity in your life. Now, do you see that there are people who do not fit on the value chain? Because even when all the politicians in the world promise you that, oh, we're going to take away the income inequality, how many have ever had those promises from politicians? No politician will ever. That is a lie. A broad day, lying during broad day, because they can never take away the income inequality. Because income does not make itself. Income is derived from value. And there are people who will give more value than other people. And there are people who will never give value. That even when you trained them, they will never give value. I usually tell the people that sign up for mentorship that you get out of mentorship what you came for. And the effort that you put in. Bahati is not a magic one that is just going to say, become this, and you become it. No. The becoming is your part. My part is to cheerlead, facilitate, make you unsettled, remind you of what you have not done. That is my part. That is a mentor's part. When you come to me, I will understand you. But still, I will tell you, I don't understand the inactivity. I don't. You know, I have been busy. I'm like, it's okay. You will come back. Whenever you're ready, come back, we start again. Yeah, I will not give up on you. There are people I've reminded after 5 years of signing up for mentorship and not doing anything. And I'm like, you know what? You still have work to do. I'm like, but coach, you never give up on people. I'm like, I'm not giving up on you. Okay, so that is where property comes in now. Let's go to the preset. The preset and time, that is mindset. So you realize that becoming, upgrading your identity all starts in your mindset. It's a mindset change. For as long as your mindset is clogged, nothing is happening. Okay? So between time and the preset, that is mindset. Between space and preset, that is skill set. Because the multiplying, the activity, what are you going to do that you are not skilled in? If I say shoot a video, you must know what you're going to shoot about. If I say, write, you must know what you're going to write about. You must have a skill. And that is why we are here. But how many people in this world are not getting any single skill? There are so many. That is why I say you're not competing against anyone. You're not. People in your league have given up on their lives. People in your league are not willing to take a step ahead. They're not willing to lift a finger. They're not willing to do any amount of activity. Some of them arrived, some of them, they're single women, and I have a problem with single women who are just waiting, and all they're believing God for is marriage. And that is, nebachirogotana, nebachirota. Nebachizukukira, nebachi. As in, you're just aiming for one thing. That is why you're super frustrated. That is why you're dreaming of animals chasing you and men raping you. And because like your mind is super glued on one thing. Can you say, God, I am taking this burden off me? Back to sender, back to you. Now, let me pursue my purpose with every ounce of my being, with every fiber of my being. Let me add value. Let me do what you want me to do as a person. Man that finds you on the value chain is a man that will forever treasure you. A man that finds you waiting for a man. Because when you're waiting for a man, even when the duplicates are the first to come, but when the duplicate comes, you will mubaka mangu. Agamba, ulijua bagamba chitole. No chitola. Omalo chitola ne chikuocha. No mala no gamba ne chijja kuterera. My friend, nga we have faith. Now we have faith. Bwe chikuocha ngamba chijja kuterera. Agamba the devil is fighting my relationship. I am going into 21 days of fasting, and then you fast for a relationship and you're chasing the demon of womanizing. The demon of womanizing. You're chasing it. Yeah, I can see. It is my family, so-and-so did this, and so-and-so did this. All those conspiracy theories are in your mind. And the moment they are in your mind, that is the end of you. Because your mind paralyzes your legs, it paralyzes your brain, it paralyzes your thinking capacity, your creativity, your activity, even your communing with people. Have you ever felt frozen and you're like, but why am I going to there? Friday, but why am I going? Like, wikukubye. Because bitandikira muchi. Mundo was you see yourself as a failure, you don't see any hope, you don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. Like, but why? That is why people get depressed and lock themselves up in the house. Because then they don't want anything that gives them hope, because anything that gives me hope is insulting. Don't you see I am hopeless? So why are you giving me hope? All I want is die. Maybe I'm no good. Maybe that's the end. All right? So that is where we have the skill set. You grow your skill set. The skill of content creation, the skill of public speaking, the skill of building your brand, the skill of, of honing your craft, of finding something that is an X factor that not everyone has. Every one of us has something special. The way she delivers, if she dared to be like me, that would be the death of her. If I ever wanted to speak with poise and gentleness, like Coach Mole, now, between matter and preset, we have tool set. Have you written tool set? That will be the end of me. So even if I've ever told you, I've ever given you an example, one time came to me and told me, but you speak too fast. Even people don't understand what you're saying. So, and let me tell you, when someone brings such manenos, there is a way your brain freezes. Because then I would have asked him, but why are they coming if they don't understand? But like I took it literally. That's why I'm telling you, you are not immune to any attacks at any level. Like you need to give them a breather so that they can internalize the points. It's a man I have never seen in my life. It was the first time he was attending, and he's telling me that, and now I have doubts about myself. And now I'm thinking, I think I speak too much. I think I speak too fast. I think people don't understand. I think they just come for the sake of coming, but they don't understand me. So after the meeting, I come because Tim picked me. So when he picked me, he saw that my spirit was down. He was like, what's the matter? Because people have been giving me testimonies, the session was good. People feel good about everything. And I was like, where is this man who came and told me this? Tim laughed. Like, he really laughed. I was like, so you still want to hear from me? I was like, yes, I want to hear from you. I was like, so why are those people coming? How much do you charge for mentorship? Why are people still paying for mentorship? Why are people listening to your TV shows? As in, so like one man's word is pouring all the work that you have done, and now you are doubting yourself because one man that you don't know, it could have been the devil that put himself in a man's flesh and came and sat there just to plant doubt in you, just to spoil your day. Instead of jubilating that there are seeds of transformation that are being planted, now you're here questioning yourself. And so he was telling, I will have none of it. Let's just go and have our coffee and have our food. And so that is when Kabugezi comes back. And I'm like, like, how many years? And in my life, I have never spoken any slow. I have never, if anything, I tried to control myself, but self-control refused. And I was like, that must have been a devil. Just came, dressed in a man's body, and just came just to spoil my evening. And that was the end of it. So that means that on this journey, even as we get the skills, as our time is going to, and someone will tell you, but this and this. And someone tells you to onyumie. And you're like, nayo bijawa. I thought it is my business to feel. Okay, Kale, you're supposed to appreciate, but if you don't appreciate, can you mind your business? I put on my what? My knickerbook. So what? Simanyi buttons were facing the other side. Simanyi it is a blouse, it is not a shirt, it is not. I am here. Okay? So the skill set, guys. Skill set. Yeah. And let me tell you, that is why you see that even if it is a person that is starting on the ground, I have a lady that does the washing and the ironing and all that and everything that goes with that department. But let me tell you, sometimes I tell her, when you come here on Saturday, it's like an angel passed through my home. Has someone ever cleaned your home until you felt like, wow, is this my home? Like, she will take all the time. Even the tiles, she'll get a toothbrush and yes. And like all the cabinets, you know, in the week, you're looking for sugar, cabinets open. You're looking for what? Mani Mudalasini. You're looking for down here. And then we have Asahel, who will get in the night. It's his playtime. Get all the saucepans out of that. So every day we have to kupanga them again. But you get out on a Saturday morning and you're like, oh my God. You even fear stepping in your own house. And you can see that she has a skill set. I told her, if you ever did mentorship for people who are house helps and people who are not going to stay in homes as house helps, but people who can come and do their job and go away, because that's what she does for me, you're going to get a lot of money. Because there are so many people who will want you to replicate. For example, if you told me I have 5 other ladies who do the same, I will recommend you to my friends anytime. So do you see, a skill is not just about speaking. A skill can be washing. A skill can be cleaning. A skill can be cooking. And then sometimes we run away from our giftedness and our skills, and we run towards the things that we think are glamorous. You're like, but it's like, you're like, I'm meant to be a pastor because the pastor is there, you know, but you're called to be an usher. And maybe your skill is as healing. Okay? And if you tried, by the way, do you know that you can monetize being an usher? When you're a super usher, when you're super coordinated, very well planned, and you can station people in different places. As we do all these big events, we need ushers that know what to do. You can kwefuga that market in the whole of Kampala of ushering. And you're like, I have an army of more than 200 ushers that are ready at any time. You want us to put on pink? We will come in pink. You want us kachungwa? We will come in kachungwa. And then we will be mannered, we will serve well, we will be elegant, and we will have a smile at all times. You think we will not be coming to you? That everyone that has an event in Kampala will be thinking, who is the go-to person? By the way, no one has done that. People have created smaller ushering groups, but you can create a bigger ushering groups that all small ushering groups subscribe to you for jobs, and you're making commission off them. You're like, you're going again, and you do both for the people who are Christians and non-Christians, because ushering is ushering. The only thing you tell them, but for me, I don't have ushers that serve alcohol, but there are also ushers who do that, okay? Who put on skimpy and who do that. That is also another niche, and no one has done it, by the way. Let me tell you, everything can be a niche. Everything. I saw someone niching down in creating shoes, comfortable shoes. Who doesn't want comfortable shoes? All of us, when you put on high heels, you feel like kolikumusala. You know? Otambula to tambula. And you're like, but someone just in Nigeria, niched down into just making comfortable shoes. And guess what? They're expensive and people are buying them like they are buying water. So everything can be a skill if you decide. So ask yourself, what am I skilling myself in? And then that is matter and presets. We have that tool set, okay? The tool set. Because you need to upgrade your mindset, you need to upgrade your skills, and then you need to upgrade your tools. What are you doing? How are you carrying out your activities? That is why after some time, some of you will be having ring lights, and then after that you will buy microphones, and then after that, before you know it, you're into podcasting. Before you know it, you have, as in you are upgrading in your tool set. Why? Because the assets are attracting the income that you need. Why do you think people are podcasting? People are not podcasting just for the sake of podcasting. There is a lot of money in podcasts. You just sit in your home and record a session. You don't need to be anywhere in the world. In your home. And then you start collaborating with your friends. You're like, Ingrid, what is your niche? And then you're like, guys, next week I'm going to bring someone that is going to talk about cake making. Or I'm going to talk about someone, as in you invite your fellow coaches, healing coaches, and you speak about certain things. Speak about marriage. Speak about, before you know it, your platform has people. Before you know it, people are being paid money. A lot of money to do these things. So your tools have to be upgraded. Okay? Let's go to possession. When you go to possession, between time and possession is perception. I hope that after that you will look at this table and see how everything correlates. Perception. Coach Mole said it so well. If you cannot perceive it, if you cannot imagine it, if you cannot think about it, there is no way you're going to walk towards it. Because then what are you going to walk towards? If you can't see your yogurt business beyond what you are doing right now, you're not advancing. But it should be that unsettledness of, you know what, time is going to come when I'm producing twice as much, thrice as much. Can I create more market? Can I create more offers? Can I go to different space? As in, why? Because there's activity. There's something. Why is there activity? Because there's imagination. Because there's perception. The power of your words, of your creativity, and your imagination. That's the sole reason. Those three things are the sole reason as to why I'm here, where I am. The creative power of words, of imagination. That means you get to a place and believe, beyond belief, that these things are going to happen. I don't remember a day where my father asked me, I think earlier, Kakati, I think he would ask, but Kakati, akola bichi? I was like, Ariel, yayogera n'abantu. I think we must have been disappointed. Why? Because your parents can't perceive anything for you. That is why they have limited us for so long. Because they want you to live the life they never lived. Because they didn't know how to live. And now they're like, you know what? Kafuka lawyer jakuba mazi. And then you become a lawyer and you become dissatisfied for the rest of your life. Because maybe you're doing something for the sake. That is why there's a boy who told me, I am going to do law and give you your degree, and then I will go and be a footballer. And then I had to tell the mother that do not kill his talent. Because football has a lifespan. And chances are by the time he's done with law, he will not be admitted to any academy, football academy. So if he wants to concurrently do it, give him a chance to actually do it. And the father listened. And after some time, he went through the Simanyi village level, he went through what? He even went to the national level. And the mother sent me a picture after 4 years. I was like, ochimanyi nti mutabani anti kati babayita batabani bangu. Ochimanyi nti mutabani wa ali mu villa. And in my heart, I'm like, that boy came to me when he was 16 and he was frustrated because the parents wanted him to do certain things in his life. Okay? So there is perception, okay? And then between space and possession, there is practice. Practice does not make perfect, practice improves. The reason as to why I will give you the assignments on the first day of the mentorship is because I want you to practice. It's because I want you to be doers. I want there to be activity in your life, because the moment you are active, the moment I got into, into relationships and I started talking about relationships, the more people would start sending questions, the more you will stumble on things that you never thought existed, and the more you will discover. Because if you want to know your passion, because so many people keep, I want to know my passion, I want to know my passion, I want to know my purpose. Take these 3 years or 2 years and try out everything that you think is in your power to try out. Believe me, your heart will tilt to something. And sometimes it's okay to start with something that you're not so sure, guys, is this my purpose? Is this not my purpose? You start with it while you try other things. Because how will you know that you love jackfruit without eating jackfruit? Okay? While you cocoon yourself and limit yourself, don't limit yourself. Practice as much as possible. When you're like katindi mumviri, practice as much as possible. There are people who have been in saloons like forever, but they don't know how to plait. They don't know how to wash anyone's head. They don't know how to, nothing. They didn't pick anything out of there. And you say, but for me, I was disinterested. That means you were wrongly positioned. Okay? So, practice. Now, between matter and possession, payment. The moment you perceive, the moment you are practicing any kind of improvement that you're going to do in your life, there is going to be an investment. Okay? And sometimes, in order for us, do you see how it's so easy for someone who paid for mentorship to go and charge other people for their services? Because now they're like, it's not just for just. I have put in time. I actually paid money to be in that mentorship. And because I paid money to be in that mentorship, I can do pro bono whenever I want, but I will give you my rate card when I have to. This is how much I cost. Okay? So that means we can never be good buyers, we can never be good sellers without being good buyers. So there's a price attached to everything. Every rich person that you see, every wealthy person that you see knows that there must be an exchange, value exchange. And remember, we talked about values. I don't remember whether you think about it, but let's go through it very quickly. Okay, we have 7 minutes. The value system, we talked about, it starts with implementation. Implementation is where you're being told what to do and you're doing it. Okay? You are being told what to do and you are doing it. That is the lowest level of earning, implementation. Okay? When you go to unification, for those of you that were not around, I'm repeating it for you. Unification is like a managerial level, because then you are paid highly more than the implementers. Okay? If implementation is being employed, okay? So now as a manager, if you ever be promoted at a level of a manager, you're earning more money than the other employees, right? But still, you are still at the level where you are just being given. Let's go to communication. That is the next stage. Now, the level of communication is where wealth creation starts. The level of, you can never be wealthy by being an implementer and being at unification level. Because even if you're at a unification level and you're a manager and you earn 10 millions or 20 millions, the day the job goes is the day you go back to zero. So that means there is no sustainability there. The level of communication, that is where people start to write their own checks. That's where people become singers. That is where people become artists. That's where people become public speakers. That is where, that is where even for marketeers, you know, insurance marketeers, I write my own check. If I want to earn 10 millions, if I want to earn 50 millions, that is how much work I'm going to put into it, because they decide how much they earn. Those are the many doors they are going to knock. Those are the many clients they are going to create. Those are the many, those are the many songs they are going to compose. Those are the many platforms they are going to go to speak, they decide how much they want to earn. The last level is the level of imagination. Now, The level of imagination is when it's an ideation level. You are above the level of just speaking about something and selling something. And that is where we should all yearn to actually go. That right now, if I stopped working for a whole year, I will be earning. If I stopped showing up, I will be earning. I don't have to speak to earn. These sessions, having them every Friday, I would have said that is tiresome. But I know I am planting a seed in someone's life. I would have done away with this. I would have done it totally online, in the comfort of my home. But I know there is impartation when we get to meet, when you get to rub shoulders. There's a different power, a different presence that actually happens. But if I decided to stay in my home, whether for 1 year, for 2 years, for 3 years, or for 5 years, I have assets that bring money to me every single day that I will not have to work. That is imaginational level, that I imagined something into real estate developing, that I imagined into depositing and in bonds, that I imagined that there is such a thing as, doing all these things, merchandising, that deliberately selfish will never stop. Will it ever stop selling? No, it will never stop selling. It has been on the market since 2015. And I will tell you, all the awards that it has won and being a bestseller in East Africa for 5 years in a row, I am still earning money from deliberately selfish. Now, I don't have to speak about it. Have you seen me sell deliberately selfish of recent? I have not posted about it for the past 2 or 3 years or 4 years. No. But I will get people looking for it, and I will have to print more books when they run out, why it is selling themselves. It is selling itself. Okay, so that means we should all yearn to get to that level. But the time, when we talked about the time, we all have the time. The beauty about time that it gives time to become. Now, I don't want you to force yourself to skip levels. Even when I believe in quantum leaps, I believe in the organic growth. I believe in taking time to understand, taking time to evolve, taking time to grow, taking time to put in the time. That is why we have the time, that we will become whatever we want to be. There is nothing wrong with the picture that you have in your mind. Whatever you think about, let me tell you, 50 is the new 20. 60 is the new 30. Yeah? Like, seriously speaking. Sarah, you look way younger. Do you remember the first meeting we had? When was that? I don't know whether you were just tired or what. You look like your clock is rewinding. But do you understand what I'm talking about? Because anyone would think that was 4 weeks back, 5 weeks back. You look tired. You looked like you were about to give in to just throw in a towel. Your skin looked different. You look vibrant. I don't know whether you've seen, you feel yourself. You look vibrant. You look brighter. You look like there is a promise. There is a future. I am going for something. And I'm putting in my effort. So if you want to get old here, you can have wrinkles at 20 and at 30. If you want to just be up to nothing. Be up to nothing. Or just settle for what the world has dished out for you and accept what it has given you. The moment you start arguing, the moment you start saying, no, it's even practice for your mind. No, I'm not settling for that. No, I'm not agreeing to that. That is where you'll find new ways of even thriving. Guys, I am not growing. You're going to find me here. You're going to find me here. I have decided. I'm waiting for you. I am waiting for you. I'm not going anywhere. But there is nothing that makes you look younger than growth. Like the personal development. It rewinds your clock. Because that means you have an agenda. The moment you have an agenda, like, you will eat different. You will sleep different. You will deal with people different. You will even be more positive about life, even how you approach life. When you look at something, as in you'll even be less judgmental because, oh, you know, mulama, you have a lane. You'll be like, you know what, if I take my eyes off my lane and I look the other side, I am lost. That is how we're to Salimba, and we end up, you know, in other lanes. But you're like, you know what, mfira kuleni, you know, jijja mwechiramu. I love you guys.